You know the moment. You're speaking slowly, almost pleasantly, explaining something that should be straightforward. You bring a fact, you show the source, you connect the dots. And the other person doesn't lean in. They stiffen up. Their eyes blur for a second, then focus with offense, as if clarity is a personal attack. Suddenly, the volume rises, the certainty hardens. The argument stops being about what's real and turns into a wrestling match over who gets to feel right. And you walk away feeling weirdly fatigued, like you just run miles without moving. Not because you were wrong, but because you were pulled into a bog where logic sinks. You review it later and ask, how can someone be that confident and that careless at the same time? You try again with better words, gentler tone, more patience. Same result. If anything, it becomes worse. The more reasonable you get, the more irrational they act, like you're feeding a fire by supplying water. Here's the shift you need to make. You're treating stupidity like an intellect problem, like if you just explain things correctly, their mentality will update. But a lot of what you call stupid has nothing to do with IQ. It's psychological, it's social, it's status, it's the need to safeguard an identity at any costs. Schopenhauer grasped this with terrible clarity. He believed most individuals don't serve truth, they serve their will, not willpower in the motivational sense. Will as a blind drive inside the human animal, the impulse to preserve pride, to avoid disgrace, to stay comfortable, to belong, to win. Reason, for most people, isn't the leader. It's the lawyer. It doesn't seek reality. It protects whatever the ego already wishes to be true. So when you present facts that contradict their worldview, you're not delivering information. You're harming their emotional security. You're challenging the story they live inside. And when that tale fails, it's not an academic loss. It feels like humiliation. That's why they don't listen. That's why they get louder. They're not attempting to comprehend you. They're attempting to survive you. And notice how the stupid person almost always alters the rules mid-game. When you provide proof, they expect sentiments. When you speak gently, people accuse you of being arrogant. When you offer nuance, they call you doubtful. They don't want a map, they want a weapon. Their mind is not organized around truth, it's organized around comfort and hierarchy. That's why they'll cherry-pick, mock, derail, and repeat the same point like a chorus. Repetition seems like strength to them. And if you keep responding, they understand your triggers and press them harder. This is why arguing with stupid individuals often makes them worse, because the argument becomes a stage, and on that stage, the purpose is not precision. The goal is supremacy. The idea is to not look feeble. The idea is to make you doubt yourself. If you keep playing, you're donating your attention to their vanity. So the actual question isn't, how do I convince them? The underlying question is, how do I keep my mind from being dragged into their gravity? Because that gravity is real. It draws you toward their level, shorter temper, uglier tone, reactive thinking, petty point scoring. You start performing instead of clarifying. You start attempting to win instead of trying to see. And if you stay long enough, you become what you hate. Someone arguing for ego, not truth. This video isn't about getting cold or arrogant. It's about getting strategic. By the conclusion, you'll know how to detect when a conversation is a genuine search for understanding versus a status war dressed up as discussion. You'll know when to speak, when to ask one pointed question, and when to depart instantly. Most importantly, you'll learn how to defend your knowledge without turning it into bitterness. How to keep your clarity clean in a world that encourages noise. When you cease treating humans like logical machines, Schopenhauer provides you a devastating advantage. Simple and cruel, his viewpoint is that reason does not move the world. Will drives it. Blind striving, self-preservation, comfort, dominance, and belonging. Reason is present, but rarely in charge. Most individuals see intellect as a tool employed by the ego to defend its interests. You can show proof and get a shrug. You present truth, but their will asks, does this safeguard me? Does it maintain my identity? Can I remain in my tribe shamelessly? If the answer is no, the mind doesn't update, it blocks. The person doesn't become curious, they become hostile. Not because they can't understand, but because knowledge would cost them something they refuse to pay. Schopenhauer would say, the tragedy is that the smarter you debate, the more you undermine the other person's inner balance. When you speak clearly, you show the difference between what they claim and what they live. That gap is a shame, and guilt doesn't invite introspection, it demands retreat. So they look for strategies that restore comfort. Laughing, anger, whataboutism, and a fast change of topic. You believe you're trading ideas, but they're managing sentiments. Once you realize that, the discourse stops being mysterious. It becomes mechanical. They leave with relief, and you leave with tiredness later. Under this lens, stupidity ceases seeming like low IQ and starts looking like a set of predictable defenses. The first is ego defense above understanding. Being wrong isn't a neutral event for them. It feels like death. It feels like losing face, losing rank, and losing control. So they fight correctly the way an animal fights a threat. They don't analyze the claim. They examine you. They criticize your tone, your intentions, your character. Anything that enables them avoid the discomfort of change. The second is certainty addiction. Confusion is intolerable to them, not because they lack intelligence, but because uncertainty makes them feel insecure. So they reach for simple answers the way a drowning person clutches for air. Nuance feels like weakness. I don't know feels like humiliation. They would rather be confidently wrong than honestly unsure, because assurance offers them a fleeting sensation of control. This is why slogans win. Slogans anesthetize doubt. The third is status games. Many interactions are not talks, they're competitions. The issue is just a battlefield where someone tries to win respect, dominance, or attention. In status games, truth is less important than victory. The instant you know this, you understand why bright people often lose in public. You're playing chess while they're flipping the table and calling it confidence. They interrupt, mock, twist definitions, demand impossible proof, then regard your calm explanation as proof you're condescending. If you react, they claim you're emotional. Either way, they win the mood. The fourth is herd comfort. Belonging beats accuracy. Most people would rather be wrong with their group than correct alone, because loneliness is not an intellectual worry, it's a primordial menace. So their mind filters information through the tribe's requirements. If the collective has determined what is true, the individual doesn't examine evidence. He evaluates risk. Will this make me an outsider? Will I be penalized, mocked, or excluded? If yes, the concept is rejected before it even forms. Schopenhauer's most valuable communication insight is that disagreements are generally about vanity, not ideas. The person across from you is not wanting to learn. They're asking to be confirmed. They want to feel knowledgeable, moral, tough, loyal. And if your truth challenges that self-image, they will twist reality to protect their vanity. They'll mishear you on purpose. They'll concoct implications you never stated. They'll drag you into side problems, sarcasm, and personal assaults, since confusion is a shield. Vanity doesn't want clarity, it wants applause. Notice how this impacts your job. If their thinking is dominated by will, you don't educate them with better logic. You handle the relationship with strategy. You ask, is this individual incurring any consequence for being wrong, or are they being rewarded for it with attention and applause? Are they capable of saying, I might be mistaken, or do they consider humility as surrender? Are they seeking clarification, or are they seeking a win? Once you see which engine is driving them, you cease losing energy into a black hole. And now you're ready for the rules. Rule 1 is where intelligent people usually fail, because they assume every conversation is about truth. It isn't. Before you speak, diagnose the motive. Ask yourself, what does this person actually want right now? Do they want to save face? Do they want to dominate? Do they want to provoke you for entertainment? Do they want to defend an identity they can't afford to lose? Or do they genuinely want to learn? If the motive is status, logic will bounce off like rain on armor. Picture the pattern. You offer a calm point, they smirk, the room laughs, and suddenly you're not debating an idea. You're being drafted into a performance. The moment you feel yourself explaining for approval instead of clarity, you've already lost. Not the argument, your position, your center, and they can sense it. You can spot the motive quickly. A learner asks questions that narrow the issue. A status player asks questions that widen it, derail it, or make it impossible to answer without sounding weak. A learner can repeat your point back accurately. A status player misunderstands you in ways that conveniently make you look foolish. A learner can say, I see what you mean. A status player can only say, so you're saying, followed by a distortion. Once you see this, you stop wasting your best thinking on people who are shopping for a win. Rule 2. Speak only when the audience is worth it. This sounds elitist until you realize it's survival. Schopenhauer would tell you that truth is expensive, and most people treat it like a free punching bag. If someone pays no cost for being wrong, they have no incentive to change. They can be incorrect, loud, and rewarded with attention, laughter, and group approval. In that environment, your patience becomes their fuel. So reserve your full explanation for people who have skin in the game. Students, colleagues, partners, decision-makers, anyone whose life actually changes when the truth changes. And remember, sometimes you're not talking to the person in front of you, you're talking to the silent observers. If you must speak, do it for the ones who are watching and thinking, not the one who is posturing and baiting. Make one clean point, then stop. Let the contrast hang. Rule 3. Use minimal words and maximum boundaries. The intelligent person's temptation is to over-explain because you believe clarity will fix it. But over-explaining is a gift to a dishonest mind. The more you talk, the more material they have to twist, clip, misquote, and reframe. So keep your sentences short and your posture firm. That's not accurate. I disagree. You're changing the subject. We're not doing this. These phrases are not rude. They're protective. They prevent the conversation from turning into an endless maze built to exhaust you. Silence is also a boundary. When they throw a cheap jab, you don't have to catch it, let it fall. When they demand a response to a distorted version of your view, you don't have to defend a position you never took. Don't apologize for their misunderstanding. Don't clarify forever. One clarification is enough. After that, it's not confusion. It's strategy. And here's the hidden power. Boundaries expose motives. A learner respects them. A status player attacks them. When you say, I'm done, the learner might ask why. The status player will insult you, mock you, or bait you to stay. That bait is the hook. Refuse it. Your dignity is worth more than the last word. Rule 4. Exit early, because contagion is real. Prolonged contact with stupid conflict makes you dumber. Not permanently, but situationally. You become reactive. You start thinking in punchlines instead of principles. You start simplifying your own views just to land a hit. You start craving the dopamine of winning instead of the quiet satisfaction of understanding. This is how intelligent people rot, not from ignorance, but from constant exposure to noisy, low-integrity interaction. Your goal is not victory, it's mental sovereignty. Schopenhauer also understood the dirty art people use in arguments. They strawman you, shift definitions, ridicule your tone, appeal to the crowd, demand impossible proof, then claim triumph when you refuse to jump through hoops. Recognize it as a game, not a dialogue. When someone needs tricks to win, it means they can't win on truth. So don't chase every trap. Name the move once, then leave. That's a straw man. You're moving the goalposts. This isn't a good faith conversation. Then exit. Treat your attention like currency. You don't hand it to strangers who burn it. You invest it where it compounds. Books, craft, friendships with honest minds. The exit is not defeat, it's hygiene. It's refusing to breathe the same mental smoke daily. You'll never regret leaving early. You will regret staying long enough that your mind starts mirroring theirs. Louder, harsher, more certain, more ugly. The smartest person in the room is not the one who can crush every idiot in debate. It's the one who can keep their clarity intact, walk away without guilt, and choose conversations that actually grow something. If you take Schopenhauer seriously, you end up with a harsh realization. Most people are not guided by reason most of the time. They're guided by will. Fear, pride, hunger for belonging, the craving to feel right. And once you accept that, you have a choice. You can become bitter and start seeing everyone as an enemy. Or you can become mature and start seeing the world clearly without letting it poison you. Because dealing with stupid people isn't supposed to be about hatred. Hatred is still bondage. If you hate them, they still control your inner life. You still go home thinking about them. You still rehearse arguments in the shower. You still hand them your attention like a tax you can't stop paying. The real victory is refusing to sacrifice your life to their chaos. Schopenhauer was pessimistic, yes, but he wasn't naive. He understood that people can be driven by blind forces, and that's exactly why cruelty is such a cheap response. Cruelty feels powerful in the moment. It gives you a rush. It makes you feel superior. But it also drags you down into the same low world you're trying to escape. If you become cruel, you've joined their game. Now you're not defending truth, you're feeding your own vanity. The mature stance is colder and kinder at the same time. Don't try to save them. If someone's identity depends on being wrong, your truth will feel like violence to them. You can't educate a person who treats correction as humiliation. You can offer one clean fact, one clear boundary, one honest question. After that, the rest is not education. It's self-punishment. Don't become cruel like them. You don't need to humiliate people to protect yourself. You don't need to win by destroying them. That urge to crush is often your own will, your own pride, wearing the mask of righteousness. The moment you enjoy the fight, you're no longer free. And don't let them colonize your mind. This is the most important one. Their chaos spreads through exposure. It pulls you into emotional language, rushed thinking, identity battles, tribal rage. It makes you forget who you are. So, keep your mind sovereign, guard your attention, choose silence as an act of self-respect. Here's a simple self-audit you can run in real time, like a mental checkpoint. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. Is this conversation producing truth or just heat? Are we getting clearer or are we just getting louder? If the only thing increasing is emotion, you're not in dialogue, you're in combustion. 2. Am I educating or performing? Am I actually helping someone understand, or am I trying to look smart, look right, look unshakable? The moment you perform, you've left truth and entered vanity, and vanity is the same drug they're addicted to. 3. Is my presence here making me more calm or more reactive? After 10 minutes with this person, do you feel more precise, more grounded, more human? Or do you feel tightened, cynical, sarcastic, hungry to strike? Your body is the lie detector. If you become uglier, leave. That's the real definition of intelligence in a world like this. It's not how well you argue. It's how well you choose your battles. It's knowing when words are useful and when they're wasted. It's having the strength to walk away without needing to punish anyone, without needing the last sentence, without needing applause. If you want to lock this in as an identity, comment this under the video. I protect my mind.